Hey everyone, I'm on my way to a hip hop and Buddhism meeting. I am so excited. And guess what? You're coming too. Ciao for now. Just makes you wanna move. This music is killer. And the meeting hasn't even started yet. He's just killing it. I had to put him on camera. Amazing.
We practice Nichiren Buddhism, which is rooted in the belief that every person, without exception, has a Buddha nature. Or in other words, the ability to tap into their very best, most enlightened selves. We are part of a global Buddhist community of 192 countries, striving to change our local neighborhoods by first enacting a powerful change in ourselves. Towards the end of tonight's event, we will share more about how to connect to your local Buddhist community, as well as our practice of chanting to awaken our Buddha nature. To kick things off, we will have a performance by Hunter PMD, or BMD, my bad. Hunter BMD, followed.
Yo, let them know how to say that, John.
Correct me.
BDM.
Followed by a dance performance by Butter Royce and Gary Lee.
Yo, let's do it. Yo, New York, what's happening? This is how we do. 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 WBA. This is how we do. This is how we do. Here we go. This is how we do. This is how we do. Let me talk. Let me share with you the writings of the codes. Maneuver between the high and the lows. Look, the world is so cold. People, they stuck froze. Tell me, we don't know where to go. So I don't even know what I'ma say. I'm on the media, the likes, the replays. But the problem with the whole is the lack of guidance. Following leaders that fold under crisis. Vigilantly safeguarding human life is one way you can change for no price. Distorted views won't help you understand. Only from the eyes of an ordinary man or woman. Son shot the movie, got the brand. Don't get caught up, moving up without a plan. Stitches on my hand, I felt the worst pain. It's a master life, you gotta train. Wrote this on the train, on my way to the plane. Landed us in there. From a seeking mind, cut the noose of religion. Optimist in the beginning, must continue to the ending. So this is how we do. Say it, this is how we do. This is how we do. I like that. This is how we do. This is how we do. Hold on. This is how we move. This is how we move. Yeah. You wanna talk to kids, you gotta know them for real. Linking up with the circus, come uptown with the biz. You won't find the burger stops, not over here. We stepped in a solo, the one too fair. Ask me to post more, all up in my algorithm. While I'm in the studio, creating all the different rhythms. Battery in my back like a console, Kiari modulation on my spine. I woke up out of surgery, catharsis. Moving through my city, facing darkness. Eyes to the people, cooking just like the cops is. Fly as a pilot, nigga, suck on my head. This is how we do, this is how we do. Hold on, New York. This is how we do, this is how we do. Hey, this is how we move, this is how we move. This is how we do, this is how we do. To all my courageous young men, dancing to the north wind. Human beings are what matter the most, not the nation. Human revolution so amazing. Create your eternal city and undergo the harsh. The adversity, that's what builds my heart. Undying love for my comrades. Triumphantly walk the most difficult path. Cause nothing more powerful Come over here in Big Life. Come over here in Big Life. Thank you, everybody. We're going to get it started, you heard? Yes, sir.
Asked him about this new philosophy or something that I heard he was exploring. And if you could make him play the bass like that, I wanted to know what it was. Actually, his eyes lit up. And he told me he'd been chanting for a way to tell me about it. And at that moment, it occurred to me that the only real way he could have reached me was through the music. If whatever he was chanting produced that bridge to reach me, I was even more open to hearing what he had to say. He explained that he'd been practicing Buddhism and that he'd been chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Let's start with Ferg. So many people might know you from ASAP Mob, from your successful solo career as Ferg. They may not know your connection to Buddhism. So can you share with us a little bit more about that? What attracted you to Buddhism?
So I've been hearing, my name is Ferg, by the way. I'm Hunter's cousin. And I will have to say, I've heard of Buddhism. The first time I seen and heard of Buddhism was in Love Ain't Got Nothing to Do With It, with Tina Turner. When she was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and as a child, I always wondered what that was. So Hunter came into my life later to help me with music, and he started to assist me, and then became an artist himself. And I was like, why is this dude so happy all the time?
In Brooklyn, and years later, in 2017, I realized that was Hunter. That he shot in 2012, he shot Hunter on the street, and then me and Hunter connected in 2016, 2017, and just how mystic and how unfathomable this practice is when you're chanting, to reach people who are really seeking. It will go there in a way that's you can't even comprehend it.
It's like, how do you see being able to use in your practice? How do you challenge some of these things in your industry and in your lives?
Yeah, I love that. This practice for me has given me a direct pathway because, as we know, entertainment and all these functions are constantly changing and all over the place. Like trends, what's cool one day, what's cool not the other day. So with Buddhism, this serves as this foundation in my life. This is something that will never change, you know? And I feel much confidence in that, you know, and that I'm not being dictated by what's happening outside of me or within the industry, which is like whatever anyway. And, you know, the cancel culture. So you could be cool one day, then the next week, it's like nobody's really rocking with you. But with this, it's like I don't even think about it, you know? So having a firm sense of purpose and mission in my life totally directs everything that I touch, do, or say. And yeah, that's irreplaceable feeling, you know? It's like with that energy, how could you stop or how could you be defeated? Because it's like, you know, I don't care what's being posted or, man, is this song good or not? Like, you know, man, let me chant about it. Like, how do I feel about it? You know, and totally relieve the workings of the mind that question everything and just have faith and have courage. So for me, that's just the greatest thing, and I would attribute like my ultimate benefit through practicing Buddhism is that sense of confidence and clarity in my life.
I would agree with Hunter on the clarity and just being more grounded. Before Buddhism, I didn't really have any system, any faith system or belief system. I didn't go to church. I didn't do any of that stuff. So even like with the mystic law, like, you know, it works in different ways. But I mean, when I chanted, and when you chant, like when you going through something, you looking for those answers. It feels like a different type of fight. I don't know, like if you guys is going through anything in your life and you start just chanting louder and you just get more aggressive with it because you just feel like, and then you come out of that and you be like, I can breathe now. Like I feel better. Like you just shook up the blood. But yeah, it's that Dragon's Gate. You know what I'm saying? And it's that adversity that we fight through. I killed you with that, right? Yeah, it's that Dragon's Gate.
Hunter wasn't ready for the Go Show reference.
I wasn't ready for the Go Show, but that was crazy.
But even when you hear the stories of Nichiren and like everything that he went through, you know what I'm saying? Being, you know, secluded on the island and having to figure things out and still having like the mindset of just fighting through that adversity. It's like, yo, this is just a body anyway. We all energy, like whatever, do whatever with this, like it's whatever. At the end of the day, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? We just here, we experiencing stuff, like it's lit. Everything is lit. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything is lit. Let's just go through it all. Like,
Yes.
it makes a better story at the end. We call it what we say, we living for the doc. We living for the documentary. So, you know, like when we sit back and we look at Quincy Jones' documentary and we see he almost died like twice, he had 3 wives, he did this, he did all these amazing things. It's like, what you want to live life with no adversity and no story, that's a boring life. It's like the ups and downs, and then your kids get to learn from your ups and downs, and like it's more lit. Like just throw everything at me. Just let's do it. Let's rock.
Yeah, I really like this question because it's like I was chanting the other day and realizing, like, you know, it's like Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the fundamental source of all creativity, and it's like learning in the beginning of my practice, like when you base your life on your practice and you center your life on your Buddhist practice, then everything else becomes more bountiful and beautiful. I used to always like when I was starting my career and stuff, like music was my object of devotion. Music was my hansan. Music was my like thing that was going to save me, things that was going to, help me with everything. But as I started practicing and going deeper, and finally making my practice my foundation, then like it brought me to areas that I couldn't fathom creatively, where I felt like I'm not creating the music, I'm just preparing myself and my experiences, like I said, with the adversity and winning over yourself. And then that's all channeled through into your music. Like if you live a boring life and you're not challenging yourself, you can't make good art, because you have to go through that adversity. You have to transmute that. That's an essential part of being an artist. And anyone's an artist. I feel like everyone is an artist. And Buddhism is just the practice of how to live your life like a work of art. Chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo and practicing correctly is like how you live your life like a work of art. And you want to be a masterful painter. You want to be a master at it, because then everything else becomes beautiful. Your family life, your work, how you deal with every single moment becomes a beautiful stroke. And then you're living that. So it's not like, it's not separate. I feel like as artists, we separate this stuff. And it's like, this is me as an artist, this is me as a Buddhist, this is me, blah, blah, blah. It's not separate. Buddhism is just, you're a piece of art, but you have to challenge it and you have to excavate that. You have to go and, it's not easy. It's simple, but it's difficult. So I think as long as we're basing ourselves on Nam-myoho-renge-kyo and our practice, and we have to do common sense stuff, like you can't get good at piano through just chanting all day. You need to practice piano 10 times more than anyone who wants to be the best, and you need to really persevere in your Buddhist practice to then be the best. You have to put in, in sensei says, you have to put in more hours at your work than anyone else. So it's like both of those things, and you're guaranteed victory. So.
Wow. So we're going to take 1 to 2 questions from the audience in a bit. So think about that. Think on that for a moment. Before we...
Hip hop started from the South Bronx. Little Bronx. I see kid in the back, BX. So hip hop started from the most dire circumstances. What was going on back in New York in the 1970s. And Buddhism has the same analogy as the lotus flower rises from the mud to become the most beautiful flower. Hip hop, similarly, from the concrete, has grown and spread around the world as the most influential genre. You know what I'm saying? So, in my perspective, how I see hip hop and Buddhism together is a commitment to people, as a source of inspiration, and an opportunity. A lot of young people go to hip hop as an opportunity to change their lives, to change their family lives. Buddhism, you can do the same, but it's free, it's right in front of you, and you could do it every day. And the only person you need to validate is yourself. Am I doing the best that I can do on a daily basis? So that's how I see them together. They both came from the origins of true despair to create something beautiful, and all of our lives have the potential to do that based on the causes we make. So.
It is no race barriers.
That part too.
Like, I remember performing in Israel, and it was for like Muslims and like Jews and different people, and like all of the kids was having fun, mosh pit and everything. But then when I get back home, I check Instagram, and it's like, oh, but they killing us over here, and oh, but they killing us over there, and it's like the kids wasn't tripping. That's like all of the people putting that on them to be that way. That ain't even the kids, because they all just turning up to my songs. But the biggest thing that I seen is that my songs brought all of them together, and through generations of a curse.
Yeah, I agree with what both of you guys said. It's like hip hop is so beautiful. It's amazing. You know, I grew up in Chicago, in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, very non-diverse, very, monotone. And but I gained a drawing towards hip hop with Eminem's first album and Dr. Dre's second album, and it just drew me to it, the sounds, and that drew me into all different types of music. Because when I started making music beats, I was sampling and I was buying records and I was listening to stuff from back in the day. So it surpasses time, it surpasses race, it surpasses everything, and it will never die because of sampling, because it's always recycled. You're always recycling with hip hop, and it's so beautiful because it enables you to empathize. It enables you to get in someone else's shoes. Like where I grew up, I wouldn't be able to even think about how Ferg and Hunter grew up, and through listening to Big L, legendary artists from Harlem, and Biggie and Tupac and Dr. Dre and all these artists, you're able to go in their shoes and really feel, their life and really see they're human beings. Everyone is the same. Everyone has Buddhahood inside. That's why I think hip hop is the most popular. It has had such an influence on human beings because it breaks all those barriers, and it is. It does that. It's really aligned with Buddhism. So.
Thank you so much, Marissa, Hunter, Tavi, and Ferg. I will now turn it over to Hunter, who we have asked to lead us in chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.